guys, it's Jacob at Classic Garage, and we've got a new project to unveil today. This is a 1987 Zuk fire engine from Poland. Just look at it. It's mental. It's huge. It sits really high up. It's extremely rudimental, 3 gears, and I'll be showing you some of the strange, really strange features on this thing. But first, you might be able to see we've got the back jacked up. We have pretty much no brakes as it is, so we're going to be bleeding the drums completely, having a look, inspecting the shoes and cylinders, and seeing if anything needs work. And having driven it very briefly, I can tell you those brakes are shocking. So it'd be nice to have them sorted. So we're going to go have a look now and see how we're getting on with those brakes. Because we're having a look at the brakes. So at the moment, we have Alex getting the rear drums off, having a look and inspecting the shoes and pistons and see what state the brakes are in, and then hopefully we have a fire engine that actually stops. So Alex has jumped in at the moment, just going to show the brakes because the rears are actually working so far. So as he's braking,
they moving?
Do again?
They moving?
Brake again?
I'm going now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So here you can see as this gap gets gradually larger, it's pushing the shoes out, so the cylinders in the piston, or the piston in the cylinder, sorry, is working absolutely fine. And the handbrake as well. The other handbrake, you see the shoe moving gradually out as well, which will go out into the drum and stop the rear wheels. So overall, the rears are fine. The fronts we've bled, but we're now going to have a look at the other side and just make sure that all is good. Hopefully it was maintained fairly well when it was being used by the Polish fire brigade, but we're about to find out. Rear left looks like we need a new cylinder because only one side's working. So we've got brakes working here, you see that coming out, but on this side we don't have anything. So we need to get a new cylinder, try and track one down. It's going to be pretty hard to find, but then we'll have brakes working all round. So obviously a fire engine wouldn't be complete without some ladders and hoses, but most importantly a fireman. Alex is just having a look at the back because the mount for the ladder rack is bent, so we're trying to get it back into shape, and we can mount the ladders up there and the hoses as well. This would have been used as a fire support vehicle from what I understand, so kind of like reservists, and it would have had a pump in the back and provided some additional support at a fire for the larger fire trucks. I'm going to put a video up next just showing some of them in action. It's pretty hilarious and quite scary because these here on the sides are pegs which fold down, and you can stand on here, hold onto the roof, and you could fit 4 more firefighters on the outside, as well as those in the back here on this bench. So your pump would have sat at the back, you'd have some more auxiliary fire equipment in the back, and that pump slides out when you open the boot. And the paintwork inside you see is grey. From what I understand, these Zuks were made at the factory and then built as fire engines after, so the paint colour inside varies on a lot of them. I've seen yellow ones as well, and then they're just sprayed red on the outside. We've had the engine cover off as well, which sits right here, just a big cover. Down to have a look because we know the alternator is going to need some work, and the belt at the front is nearly snapped as well, so we need to remove that. It's quite a big truck as well. Like, to get into it itself, it's quite a big step up. So we've got the 3 ladders on now, so they slide and mount. You might be able to see this carpet. They mount into here and slide on, and then the hoses we've got will sit in those channels there. These are the lights which are all working as well. So if you have a look here, the rail here is all bent. Someone's reversed and hit it at some point, so we're just going to cable tie the ladders together for now until we can get that fixed, and then we can put these hoses on. So they're really heavy. Yeah, 3 of these onto the roof, and then it will actually be looking like a proper fire engine. So we managed to get all the ladders on, and we've just finished strapping down the hoses for now. I'll show you up there. So there you go, these are the original hoses, stamped 1987 as well. Firefighting ones, and the ladders at the back. I'll just give you a quick look around as well. So at the rear here, the tailgate folds down, boot opens, and what you would have had is a pump that sits on these rails here. You pull this down, and then you could pull the pump out and you could attach all the relevant hoses. And this is the floor in the back. It's just wood from underneath. There's no floor pan, it's just these wooden beams. We've got a really cool idea for this as well, which incorporates these as well. And you would have been able to fit some more accessories here. So I'm just going to show you as well from the driver's seat, just give you a little bit of a tour of inside. It's quite a big step. All of this has been welded up recently, all the sill, so that's good. Climb in, quite literally. So we're inside the Zuk fire engine. You've got your speedo, gauges. These are for the lights and siren. And then the engine's there. So the engine cover's behind us here. We've taken it off just to have a look at the alternator, but the engine literally sits there. As you can see down to the floor. You've got your pedals, obviously, manual. This is probably my favourite feature. It's dead at the moment, otherwise I'd be able to show you. This, you can press, and it does your washers and wipers. So if you're en route to a fire and you're flat out around a bend and it's raining, you can use your other foot here and yeah, clean the windscreen, which isn't ideal because you only have these two wipers, and with it being left-hand drive, the wiper comes up to here. So all of this here is still wet. Yeah, we've jump started early. We did have it running. I'll put a video in there shortly of it running. But yeah, it's just a fairly basic 2.5 litre engine, manual, 3-speed. You can swap it out for a 7 Series engine as well, and some 7 Series parts, including the disc brakes as well. So yeah, this is the front. You have this tray here, and you would have had another seat here, which is currently in the back. And then that's the view from the back. So you see all this storage space on the flooring. So it really is quite a cool vehicle. It's had a hell of a lot of looks, even when bringing it back here and towing it. And it's been for a pre-MOT as well, just to get it up on the ramp and see what needed doing. And it just gets so much attention. It's got some original Polish stickers here, which I think are like the registration in Poland, like tax this sort of thing. And you have this small inspection area here just for oil, topping up bits as well. We've got a couple of loose wires here, which we need to trace back and see what's going on. One of the sirens isn't working, so we think it may be to do with that. But on the whole, it's such a cool vehicle. This is the part of Poland where it was used. I did look it up. I think it's like a river area, and this is to do with it's like a reserve. I can't remember what it means in Polish, but it's like the reserve fire brigade. And you have another door on the side, which we've locked, but this would be a personnel door, and then you've got a bench inside to fit some additional crew as well. One of my favourite bits, these steps here. I have just used one to fit the ladders to the roof. These are footsteps. You fold it out, you hold onto the roof, you can fit 4 more firefighters on the outside. It's just absolutely crazy. You can see here where there's been welded up and resprayed. We need to get it a bit darker to match the rest of the patina on the overall body, but just such a cool truck, and it's huge. It's so high up. It's gonna be a really, really good project. We've got some really cool ideas for it. So we've got it running. Look at that. There you go. So that is our Zuk. You've had a good overview of it. But there you go, 1987 Zuk, straight off eBay. Look at it go.